This is the ENGWE L20 2.0 electric bike, and right off the bat, it stands out with a bold, chunky look. What you notice most is the sturdy aluminum frame and those massive 20 by 3-inch fat tires that really give it a confident presence. At first glance, I thought it might be a bit small, especially since most folding e-bikes tend to look compact in pictures, but in person, this bike actually feels substantial. I'm about 6 feet tall, and the step-through frame is not only handy, but comfortable. Honestly, I think riders a bit taller or shorter will also find a good fit, thanks to the really adjustable saddle height. From my experience riding e-bikes, I always look for a couple of key features that make something practical for daily life, not just cool to look at. The L20 2.0 surprised me with a 52-volt, 13-amp-hour removable battery. Usually, 52 volts means extra power and zippier acceleration. That's definitely what I felt. The torque is impressive. I had some doubts initially about the claimed motor power, since it's labeled as 1,125 watts peak and 750 watts continuous. Sometimes these numbers on paper don't translate into real muscle. But after rolling through both some paved trails and steep hills, that skepticism faded away. I felt good push right from the start, especially using the throttle only. It hit 20 miles per hour no problem, and when pedaling with the assist, I could push over 28 miles per hour on a straight stretch. This makes it perfect for commuters who want to get around quickly. But that peppy response is also handy crossing busy streets or tackling steep inclines. Storage and portability are huge for folding e-bikes, and here the ENGWE gets a lot right. The folding system is super simple. Fold down the handlebars, and the bike folds in half using strong latches. Even the pedals flip up, which is a nice extra touch for packing things tight. While folded, it shrinks enough to fit in the back of my SUV without hassle. And I imagine folks with apartments or smaller cars will appreciate this too. The bike's about 60 pounds with the battery, so it's not ultralight, but not unreasonable for this kind of power and tire size. On the comfort side, I was pleasantly surprised by the dual suspension setup, meaning you get a suspension fork up front and a suspended seat post. Now, to keep things clear for newbies, a suspension fork is the springy part that connects your front wheel to the frame and helps soak up bumps, while the seat post suspension means the pole under your saddle can move a bit to absorb shocks from below. Even without rear frame suspension, what people call hardtail, the seat post helps a lot. Riding over potholes and grass, it's actually pretty smooth, though I noticed when hitting bigger bumps at speed the fork could bottom out. For less experienced riders, that just means you'll feel a bit of a clunk if you go really hard, but it won't throw you off the bike. Handling around town is easy, with wide tires giving great stability and grip, even on loose gravel or wet grass. I tested it carrying a backpack strapped to the solid rear rack, and everything stayed steady. There's also a front rack, though it's attached to the frame, not the fork, so it doesn't turn with the handlebars. At first, that felt weird, but it really doesn't change how the bike rides, and actually adds to the utility if you ever want to mount a basket. Controls and display are simple enough that I think anyone new to e-bikes would find them easy. You get a color LCD that's bright and easy to read, showing speed, distance, battery level, and riding mode. You control pedal assist levels, how much the motor helps you, using plus and minus buttons on the left. There's a power button tucked on the control unit too, and a button to turn your headlight and taillight on. The integrated headlight is pretty standard. It's not super bright, so in my opinion, riders going out at night for long stretches would want a secondary light. The taillight activates when you brake, which is nice for visibility. About the brakes, these are mechanical disc brakes, cable, not hydraulic. They do the job, but require more hand effort to stop quickly, and there's a bit more maintenance since cables can stretch over time. I'd recommend tightening them up now and then, especially if you ride in hilly areas. One thing that stood out for me was the ease of unlocking and removing the battery. You just pop the seat up with a little lever and slide the battery up and out for indoor charging, which is great if you can't park next to a power outlet. For those not used to e-bikes, the battery's about 10 pounds, and the charger gets you from empty to full in about 5 to 6 hours. The company claims up to 68 miles of range in the lowest pedal assist mode. But my own riding stuck closer to the higher PAS or throttle mode, which delivered more like 22 to 32 miles, with lots of stop and go, throttle use, and a bit of hill climbing. So be realistic. If you crank the power, you won't get max range, but it's enough for most daily commutes and long errands. Like any product, it isn't all perfect. From my experience, the main drawback is the gearing. The combination of a 48-tooth chainring and a 14 to 28-tooth cassette means that when riding above 20 miles per hour, your legs start ghost pedaling. Basically, the bike moves faster than you can pedal, and it can feel a little silly if you want to actually do exercise at higher speeds. For new riders, that's just something to be aware of. You still feel the assist, but your pedaling may not feel totally connected above certain speeds. Also, the motor isn't the quietest. It whines when you're going hard, especially on hills. Some people don't mind, but if you're after a totally silent ride, that's a trade-off to keep in mind. About looks, I actually think it's pretty slick. The paint finish is sharp, color options help it stand out, and details like cable management and the included metal fenders show ENGWE did pay attention to making it look put together and tough. That said, this is not a lightweight bike, and you'll definitely feel the weight if you have to carry it upstairs or lift it onto a rack. For someone new to e-bikes, let me pause and explain a couple of basic terms that might seem confusing at first. Pedal assist means the bike gives you an extra boost only when you pedal. Throttle mode lets you ride with no pedaling at all, just like a scooter. I found myself toggling both depending on if I wanted a workout or just a chill cruise. The fat tires make it comfortable on grass, gravel, cracked sidewalks, and sandy paths. You probably won't use it for high-speed mountain biking, but for commuting, running errands, hitting the park, or checking out new fishing spots, it's honestly perfect. In conclusion, my quick review is this. The ENGWE L20 2.0 e-bike is a solid choice if you want a comfortable, powerful, and feature-packed foldable e-bike without breaking the bank. I love the combination of portability and performance. Sure, some things aren't perfect. The gearing could be better for high-speed pedaling. The brakes need more regular adjusting than hydraulic ones, and the lighting is just okay. Still, for everything you get at this price, from the folding setup to the strong motor and comfortable saddle, it's really good value. I'd recommend this for anyone like me who needs a commuter bike, light off-road machine, or even just a solid all-around e-bike for adventure. If you have any questions or want to share your thoughts, definitely drop a comment below. And if you want to see more honest, quick reviews of e-bikes and gear, hit subscribe so you don't miss my next video. Thank you for watching.